Well, I'll even admit that it's better than Supergirl the movie. Wonder Woman, starring Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Danny Houston, Elena Anya, a host of other great actors, and directed by Patty Jenkins. Has there been any other movie in recent memory that has so much riding on it? It's the first major-led female superhero film, and was charged with setting the DC film universe on the right track. With all of these pressures and expectations, possibly unfairly heaped upon the movie, the end result turned out to be great. Wonder Woman is a fantastic story about the Amazonian princess, set during one of the most interesting and destructive times in all of human history. The movie is a fun, enjoyable ride with a good heart and message buried within its story. Wonder Woman doesn't work without an actress who can pull off the role, and Gal Gadot does a great job as the lead. The sense of wonderment and innocence she conveys in the story are perfect for the character. She knows nothing about the current world of man, and when she enters it, she is both amazed and horrified. The performance struck the right amount of truth for the character and story. I liked most of the action with Gadot, but you could tell in some scenes that it wasn't her. I would have preferred just a tad less CG and not as much slow-mo, but this is a minor nitpick. Chris Pine, on the other hand, didn't have much hard action in the film to do at all, besides shooting a gun. His performance overall was fantastic. He brought a good amount of weight to the role and hit all the emotional elements perfectly. He was a great touchstone for the good side of humanity in the story. The rest of the heroes in the movie don't get much backstory, but they all serve their purpose. The only characters who didn't work perfectly for the movie were the two main villains for most of the story, played by Houston and Anya. They were a bit too cartoony for the overall theme and story of the film. Neither were bad in their roles, but they didn't fit as well into the story as other characters. These type of German villains would have fit more into a narrative about World War II. I'm glad the story was set during World War I. It was a massive conflict which gets overshadowed by the second for obvious reasons. World War I fit the story of this film because it was the first modern war, and neither side were really the bad guys. It highlighted the evils of men as a whole, instead of focusing on how evil one side was. Overall, I would have liked the story to focus more on this, rather than make the two Germans the main baddies. But there had to be a main foil to focus on for most of the story. The underlying story in Wonder Woman is where the movie shines. Its message on how man has such capacity for goodness, but also evil, is on full display. The horrors of war are not glossed over in Wonder Woman, and many of the historical elements are spot on for World War I. It isn't delved into extensively, but the little that is shown was handled well. The eagerness Diana shows wanting to get to the Western Front was similar to the eagerness most of the men felt of the day. The men during this time wanted to find honor and glory on the battlefield, and it was very much romanticized. All they found when they got there, though, was death and destruction. While Diana isn't going to war for glory, she still wants to go to battle, and was excited to arrive and prove her worth. When she finally enters battle and sees the destruction it causes, all she wants to do is make the war stop. She is no longer excited to be there. She just wants the horror to end. This theme will make Wonder Woman worth watching multiple times. With the critical missteps of other DC films, Wonder Woman had some big shoes to fill for the studio, but Patty Jenkins delivered. While the other films made money, if the buzz around Wonder Woman hadn't been good, it might have been a major bomb. The marketing and build-up for the release of Wonder Woman was handled extremely well by Warner Brothers, and everything hit the perfect crescendo before the movie hit theaters. It is the perfect answer to the previous films which have not been critical successes. The movie is worth watching in theaters multiple times. I personally love Man of Steel just a tad bit more than Wonder Woman, but it's very close. I can't wait to go out and watch this movie again. Comment and let me know what you thought of Wonder Woman. Do you think Wonder Woman 2 should be set in modern day, or should they jump to the Second World War? Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.